Hello guys, today's video gonna teach you how to make the carbon fiber stabilizer, which is I have on this car right here. Okay, basically to make this type of carbon fiber stabilizer it requires some professional tool. You better to having this one, the Proxon MF70 micro milling machine. This is what you need. Make sure you have the machine vise which is attached to the micro milling machine. Okay, the tool you need for making the stabilizer, also you need a set of files. Okay, and the pencil knife which is right here. Okay, and different size of the cutting bit. So you need a 1mm, 2mm, and 3mm. This is also for the micro milling machine. Okay, and make sure you have the digital caliper. Okay, and the crazy glue. Okay, and gauge right here, and a setting bar. Okay, and for the parts you need for making the carbon fiber stabilizer, basically you only need one package of the item number 15495, the high grade reinforced plate set 1.5mm. Okay, due to this setup need a professional machine, so I'm not gonna explain too much detail, and I'm just gonna show the step how I cutting my stabilizer and give you a general idea. If you try to using the regular tool such as the Dremel or files or any kind of like cutting tool, try to make it's gonna be a little bit hard time. So anyway, I prefer to using this micro milling machine, which is the made by Proxon Germany. The model number it is MF70. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, first I'm gonna start on this 1.5mm carbon popsicle, and I'm gonna make this one to be two halves. So from the middle line, which is the middle center mounting point, which is on the center, so I'm gonna cut it to be half. Okay. So here are the two pieces, and next we're gonna using a number 400 sandpaper. If you have a number 200, it's fine as well. So we're gonna starting from this side, which is right here, to giving a little bit polish. Okay, so make it like scratch like this, and the same thing to the other pieces. Okay. Okay, so like this. The reason I want to sand these two surfaces like this because I gonna glue two pieces together to become one 3mm carbon fiber. So it's better to sand the surface you're gonna glue, and it's make it like combine and bonding a little bit better. Okay, so next we're gonna using a crazy glue to apply to the carbon fiber and put them together. Okay, like this. Okay, next gonna put on the vise, and let's stay there for like about 2 minutes so it can stay really good. So here's the 3mm carbon fiber I just made, and moving to the next, we're gonna starting to cut a little bit right here, and I'm gonna cut this one to be two pieces again, but this time not cutting two halves. I'm gonna keep the most of the carbon fiber to become the stabilizer, which is right this part, and this part right here, and the one has two little mounting point on one side. This is gonna be my base. So I'm going to using digital caliper to measure from right here, the last mounting point right here, from here to here about 9.5. So it's about right here. Let me see, 9.5 or 9.7 as well. So I'm gonna keep a little bit longer, probably 9.80. Okay, so it's about right here. So remember again, it's from this point, which is I'm pointing right now, and it to here. So gonna do like this, 9.70 or 9.80. Just keep it a little bit longer so you can if you cut, because if you're cutting too short, you cannot adjust it. So you're cutting a little bit more, so later on if you a little bit like too much, you can't adjust it later. So I'm just go ahead and using a pencil knife to mark the point. So it's about right here. Let me give you a better angle you can see. Okay, so it's about right here. The letter T, which is right here. So let me show you again. It's about 9.80 millimeter. Okay, right here. And next, gonna cutting this piece off. Okay. So okay, here's the two pieces I just cut. So this is long piece gonna be my stabilizer, and this is gonna be my stabilizer base. Okay, so I'm gonna using a digital caliper to measure again. So the whole thing, it is about almost 12 millimeter long. Okay. Okay, moving to the next, we're gonna cut a latch. So that latch have to fit to the notch later, like this. Okay, so it's gonna be 3 millimeter deep, so you can insert to this piece, the base, all the way like this. So the result gonna be looks like this. Okay, so here's my dimension. Due to this pieces is 3 millimeter thick right now, so what I gonna do it is first from here, the bottom, okay, to here, gonna make a line which is 3 millimeter high. So from here to here, see the line I just made, this is 3 millimeter high. So from here to here is 3 millimeter. Okay, and for the little edges right here, so from this edges to a little bit right here, it's gonna be making the line, it is 1.5 millimeter. Okay, so I'm gonna make a 1.5 millimeter. It's, remember, it's from, again, it's from here, this side, and to this line right here. So this distance is 1.5 millimeter. So okay, I'm gonna make another line which is right here. So from this side, okay, to here, it's gonna be 3.5 millimeter. But I highly recommend you make it a little bit bigger. So you're gonna making about probably 3.6 millimeter. So again, from this side and to here, this is another line. It is the distance from here to here is about 3.6 millimeter. So you can see I already have the line, which is a mark on this carbon fiber. So let's review again. This line right here from the bottom to this line is 3 millimeter, and this side, from this side to here, there's another line right here. So from this side to here is about 1.5, and you can see here has another line which is right here. So it's from here to this line, it's about 3.6 millimeter. Okay, so here's the line, and next we're gonna follow the line to cut the latch. For cutting the latch, I recommend use the 1 millimeter the cutting bit. Okay, so first what are we gonna do? We're gonna try to set up these pieces on top of the vise, which is right here. Make sure it's gonna be really 180 degree flat. The next, so the cutting steps gonna be very important. Make sure you're not mess up. So first I'm gonna moving the cutting bit, which is to the 3 millimeter line, which is right here. Okay, so we're gonna move to there, and what I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna drill a hole which is between, let me give a better angle so you can see it. I'm gonna drill a little hole which is on the intersection point between this line right here. So the line from here to here is about 3 millimeter. Remember, this is the line right here. Okay, so another line which is 3.6 millimeter on the vertical direction. So on this intersection point, I'm gonna drill a hole. Okay, so I'm gonna drill a hole. Okay, so I'm gonna make the hole, and I'm gonna make another hole, which is right here from the 3 millimeter line, which is right here. And remember the 1.5 millimeter line, which is right here. So from that intersection point, gonna make another hole. So this one, you just have to moving this one vertically to up, and please do not move this side. Okay, do not move this side. You just have to move up. Okay, okay, so right now you can see here's one hole and another hole right here. Both holes level. Okay, so the reason I make a hole right here, and this hole gonna tell me when I cut from top right here all the way to here, and when I hitting this hole, I will feel this part I have to stop. Same thing here. So when I'm cutting from the bottom to right here to the hole right here, and we're gonna stop right there. So in this way, I know where I should stop. Okay. Okay. So moving to next, we're gonna starting to cutting the this piece first and then this piece. Okay. So gonna take out from gonna remove this one from the vise and move this one a little bit out, so we can cutting from here to the bottom. So I'm gonna cut from top and all the way to the first the hole I just made earlier. Okay. Okay. So it's very important to cutting a hole right here. So in this case, when you moving from top to here, you know where you should stop, because this thing actually really amazing, because when you're not cutting anything, when you're the cutting bit, it's in the air, you can feel it. Okay, so let's move up, and we're gonna do another cutting, which is from the bottom to the little hole right here. Okay, so we're gonna move to here, and this one's gonna be a little bit easier because it's not really too long. It's about less than 1 millimeter. Okay, so you can see I already cut. Let me give a better angle if you can see it. See here the cutting right here, and here's another cutting. So moving to the next, I'm gonna cutting from this side, right, from the horizontal way, from here to the another cutting point, which is earlier we have. Okay. It's okay. You can see this part being removed. So moving to next, I'm gonna cut this 1.5 millimeter off. So just finish. Let me take this piece off so we can show you the detailed picture. So it looks like this. And moving to next, we're gonna using the files, which is right here, the Tamiya files. Here the one was a little bit flat, and starting to fix move the scrap. Okay. Okay, so let me show you again. It's gonna be looks like this. Okay, so this thing gonna goes here. Okay, so next we're gonna cutting these pieces. So for cutting these pieces, and it's gonna be a little bit complicated because the dimension we're gonna use, it's kind of I figure out by myself, so probably this is the best way to make a notch which is can fit this latch. Okay, so what we should do first, we have to replace this cutting bit. We're gonna replace this one with a 2mm. Okay, so right now the machine is 1mm, so we're gonna replace with a 2mm, which is right here. So next, what are we gonna do on the point right here, this mounting point, and this is gonna be my roller lock, and this is gonna be, we make a notch which is can insert this piece into it. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna make a two line which is break this mounting point to half. Okay, so it's gonna be like this, using this gauge lines up right here. Gonna make a line. Okay, gonna make a line like this. See the line here? It's in the center of the mounting point like this. Okay, so gonna make another line which is gonna be like this from this side, like this. Okay, so basically it's a cross, but it's all cross from center of this mounting point. So okay, you're supposed to see one line right here and one line here. It's a cross. So these two lines gonna be break this mounting point right here to 4 quarters. So 1 quarter right here, 1 quarter right here, and 1 quarter right here, and 1 quarter right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 quarter. On every quarter, gonna use 2mm cutter, which is gonna be making a hole like this. So one quarter of the mounting point right here, this little hole right here, is gonna be have 1 quarter of the drill bit, like this, like this, like this, like this. So it's gonna come out like this type. Okay, so you can see this is the center mounting point, which is right here. It's already gone because this one I cut already. So it's gonna be right here, right here, right here. So it's hard to understand, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people already getting know about it. It's gonna be every 1 quarter of this mounting point gonna be involve 1 quarter of 2mm the mounting point. Again, it's gonna be like this, like this, like this, like this. So it's gonna come out looks like this. Okay, so let me get it started. Okay, so just finish cutting right here. You can see this is the same looks like. Okay, so basically it is 4 of the 2mm hole, which is connect together like this. Okay, so next we're gonna try to insert this one into the mounting right here. So you're gonna try to insert this latch to this notch. Okay, so you will feel, maybe first time you will feel it doesn't really fit. Okay, so that's why I'm telling everybody you have to reserve a little bit more. So next, using files, you have 2 options. Either adjust right here and on this notch, or either adjust on this latch. It's really up to you. So I'm gonna probably just gonna slowly adjust this notch right here, make it a little bit bigger until it can fit that latch. Okay, so it's almost there. Put a little bit more. Okay, so it fits. Okay. 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 So again, it's gonna be looks like this. It's gonna be fit like this. Okay. Okay. So moving to the next, we're gonna go ahead, set this one on top of the setting board. What are we gonna do next? We are going to adjust this thing, because right now you're not sure it's like 100% vertical, because this thing have to be really vertical, otherwise it's a little bit crooked. It's gonna be hard for later to adjust it. So we're gonna use this setting board right here, the gauge, put like this, and make sure this line right here is vertical. Okay, so basically it's gonna be like this. Okay, so we're gonna put on top of that and make sure it's a vertical. Okay. Okay, so one side finished, you can turn around and make sure this side and this side is vertical as well. So this side is gonna be a little bit complicated because you're gonna be putting like this and putting like this to make sure it's vertical. And after that, it's vertical. Then you put on setting board again and put this gauge like this. Then using your eye level to see if it's vertical. Because if it's not a vertical, either this side is gonna be too small, too big, and this side is gonna be too small, too big. It's really can tell by your eye. Okay, so this one's like 100% vertical. You have to turn the other side to make sure the other side is same thing. Okay. So I have to be putting like this again. Okay, have to make sure. Okay, and the same thing when you, and this side as well. Okay, so you see the line, the gap right here is even. So this thing is like perfect. So moving to next, we're gonna glue it. So for glue this one, I highly recommend and glue the top first. Gonna put a little bit on top to position the thing first, just a little bit. Okay, like this. Okay, so make sure only put a little bit right here, and then next using a napkin to remove the extra crazy glue. Okay, and next step, we're gonna reinforce the joint. Okay, so in order to reinforce the joint, you're gonna use this one. This is a carbon fiber product, and every single time I cut off carbon fiber, there's a lot of like scrap in the carbon fiber products. It's come off, so I collect all this. So this is for my reinforcement. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna take some. Okay, take some, and can see right here there's a gap. Can you see there's a gap right here and a little bit gap right here? So we're gonna using that. So we're gonna use the carbon fiber products to fill up the gap which is right here. So it's gonna be looks like this. So it's gonna be like this. Gonna take a little bit. Okay. To fill up. Okay. And make sure every single time you put on it, make sure you press it. Okay, make sure all the carbon fiber go to inside of the gap. Okay, it's gonna be like this. Do a couple times. I will just do until I can feel it's being filled up. Okay. so you can see all the gap being filled up. Okay, next we're gonna apply the crazy glue. I'm gonna using this Zap pink label, which is the Sing crazy glue. Really Sing. This is like water. Okay, so because crazy glue, they have a different type. They have the one really thick. It's like a really sticky glue. This one, it is the Sing one. It is like water. Okay, so I'm gonna drop some. So I'm gonna drop it a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna drop some. So after that, using a napkin to clean it. So you're gonna see the big gap right here. It's starting to absorbing the crazy glue, and the gap getting a little bit bigger again. So we're gonna repeat the step and use the carbon fiber product again to fill out the gap. So we're gonna keep doing that until the gap is gone. Okay. Okay, it's gonna be like this. And the next, we're gonna using the different crazy glue. This is the thick one. Okay, we're gonna using this one to give it a little bit drop, using a napkin, and gonna put a little bit more on top, or either you can do like this and dip on it. Okay. So next, I'm using a napkin to remove the extra on the top of that, and make sure you're using a finger to press it. Okay, and like this. Okay, so you can see the napkin gonna be stick on it, but it's okay. It's a chemical reaction, so we'll feel this thing getting hard. Okay, just keep like that, and we're gonna move into the next step. Okay, so after a while, when the crazy glue all dry, we're gonna move into the next step. Next step, we're gonna using number 200 or 400 sandpaper, and remember the bottom have extra crazy glue right here stick out. So right here we're gonna use sandpaper to start this sand makes flat. Okay, just slowly remove it. And this is actually 400. Maybe it's too thin. Let me change to number 200. Make it a little bit faster. Okay. And we're gonna come back using number 400 and polish surface. Okay, so just finish right here. So you can see it's become flat, and there's no any, you don't see any gap. So this is when you mix the crazy glue with the carbon fiber product, that's what's gonna be result. So you fill the gap and put the crazy glue and use the sandpaper to finishing the surface again. So it's gonna be, looks like this. It's gonna be all in one. Okay, and then moving to next, remember the files, we have that right here. We're gonna use files to polish right here. This is the earlier we have the crazy glue. So if you want it, you still can put some carbon fiber product and a crazy glue mix right here and fill up the little gap right here. And actually I don't see any gap right here, so that's why the reason I don't do it. So you still can do like that, and using a file to polish both sides, and it makes it a little bit nicer. Okay, so this is gonna be looks like. And after you finish that, using the Zap pink, this is the Sing one, the crazy glue, make sure it's the Sing one, and you have to do that again and put a little bit more, right here as well, and at the bottom. Okay, and let's dry for another maybe 2 minutes. So okay, after this piece is dry, you can see it's really strong, and you can see it's really strong. Okay, and then moving to next, we're gonna cut it. Okay, because you're not gonna use it like this, because there's no way you can lock a knot right here. because this thing you have to cut at least half of it. Okay, so what are we gonna do next? We're gonna use this one right here, okay, to make a line. And this line gonna be very important. This line is gonna be your cutting point. So from top, a little mounting point right here. So you're gonna make a line from these edges right here, right about these edges, and all the way, okay, past this little mounting point like this. Okay, so let me make the line and I show you. Okay, give a better angle. You can see the line. So basically the line is from here all the way to here. Okay, this is my first cutting point. Okay, so my first cutting point, I'm gonna remove all this. Okay, everything above the line. Okay, so this line made. We're gonna put on the machine. So we put on the machine, you can using 2mm or 3mm cutting. It's really up to you. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna make sure you have to put a little bit angle, and this angle, which is this line, gonna be level with the edges right here. So gonna be okay. Let me drop my camera so you can see the detail how I put the angle. So this is how I put my angle. So from, remember the line from here to all the way on the back of the mounting point right here. So I'm gonna using this one, the cutter, to cut like this to remove the top part. So I'm gonna turn my machine on. So okay, this is the finishing part right here. So this is only halfway finished. We're gonna make another angle. Okay, it's gonna be after cutting, it's gonna be looks like this. It's almost there. Okay. And then next we're gonna do another cutting. Another cutting is gonna be remove a little bit right here, because right here we're gonna put a lock nut which can fit to the mounting point right here. So right now it is too small. There's nothing in it. The lock nut doesn't fit right here. So we're gonna remove a little bit more from here so we can make the lock nut to fit over there. So what are we gonna do next? We're gonna draw a vertical line which is right here. It's gonna be, so we're gonna move this much on the top above the line which is right here. So this one gonna be a little bit easier. So we're gonna set this one. Okay, it's gonna be looks like this. Okay, so we about to finish right here. Next we're gonna just using a sandpaper to remove the scrap. Okay, it's gonna be looks like this. So next I'm gonna set up one of this to top off my roller, which is over there. And the reason I want to set up first because I want to make sure it's on the right dimension, and if a little bit off, you still can, you know, adjust it. It's gonna be looks like this. Next we're gonna put this car on the measurement box or either truck to see if it's the size is not too much. So what I mean it is, have to find a truck pieces and let this side to move to the edges right here. So make sure it's on the right dimension. So like this, about 2 millimeter or 1.5 millimeter away from the side of the wall right here. That's a perfect size. Okay, so you can make it a bit closer by adjust the angle up right here. So in this case, this thing is right now is about you can see about 1.5 millimeter. Okay, just make sure this side is not all the way touching the side of the wall, and unless it's like a wing flip, you can see if it's touching. So if it's on the flat surface, it's moving, it's nothing touching, that should be good. Again, just make sure the side of this is gonna be 1.5 to 2 millimeter away from the wall right here. Okay, if this one is attached the wall right here, you have to use a sandpaper to make it a bit thinner. Okay, so again, best distance it is 1.5 to 2 millimeter. Okay, so like this. So this one is fine. So it's gonna be looks like this. So make sure lock a little bit tight, so this one will move, like this one right here. This one to move because you have to lock the lock nut really tight. Okay, so here's a video for how I make the carbon fiber stabilizer. Make sure you have professional tool, because this one I feel it's kind of no way to using a regular tool. So you have to using at least a micro milling machine. This is how I do it. To this video just give you a general idea and my concept and how to make the carbon fiber stabilizer by using the 1.5 millimeter carbon fiber popsicle. Okay, so anyway, thank you for watching my YouTube channel. If you have any questions, just go ahead and leave a comment.